Hello friend, I have a video for you today. If you are somebody that is stepping into a leadership role, collaborating with others to build something for your mutual growth. Guiding the reading today, I have two cards. We have Indy and we have Gotcha. Indy is very much your this or that fairy. He is, here to help you make decisions, or at least to present you with information for you to make decisions. Do I take this direction? Do I do that thing? Do I say yes? Do I no? Indy is all about bringing you to this point of decisions. Now, he's not going to make the decision for you, but he's pretty good at being able to lay out the information and let you know what the choices are and what, possibilities you could possibly have. And then you have Gotcha. Gotcha is the out of nowhere card, the out of nowhere fae. When something surprises you, sneaks up on you, something you weren't expecting. So what I'm getting with this reading here is we're having an unexpected choice or an option or an opportunity being presented to us that we weren't really aware of, that we weren't paying attention to. All right, starting off, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, when we're looking at the Wheel of Fortune, this is our cycles. This is our moving from one phase of life to another. This could be also the ups and downs of life and learning how to stay centered. Right now, you are moving into a new stage in your life. The wheel is turning. You are going into the next chapter. Now, this chapter is moving a little bit slow because we have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles is your slow and steady wins the race, 1 foot, in front of the other, a step at a time. So this new chapter you're in, don't expect it to be something that's going to be happening just instantly overnight, right? You have a certain amount of time right now that with the stage of growth that you're in, you're going to be able to establish a nice solid foundation for the community that you're connecting with, for the project that you're building. Whatever it is, you are in this for the long haul. The Knight of Pentacles, he doesn't move fast, but he moves steady and sure, and he is there for the journey. And a journey it's definitely going to be, because we have the Fool. You are stepping into something fresh. So this isn't even just actually moving from one chapter to another. This is moving from one book to another. You closed out a certain story. There are things that you've told yourself, ideas about who you are, what you can achieve, what you can't achieve. An old story that you have left behind. You were starting out fresh. You have many possibilities ahead of you. You don't know everything that you're going to discover along the way, but you have guidance, and you do have a certain amount of knowledge and understanding, and your hopes, your dreams, your prayers, your thoughts, but you are definitely moving into something brand new. All right, so you're growing, you're building something new, you're setting the foundation, and you have all these possibilities. You are the Empress, right? You are gathering your resources around you. Something is growing within you. And as this, this growth is happening within you, you start to get, a little bit of this inspiration, this divine inspiration to take inspired action. The Queen of Wands, she has the ability to sit and wait for inspiration, to wait for some sort of energy or a blessing to come her way that she can use to shape things. She is very much the magician of the court cards. So imagine if somebody's coming along and they've got, like a bunch of ingredients for a cake for you. They got the flour, they've got the sugar, all the raw ingredients, and they bring it to you, and you say, hey, I've got this gift for you. This cake, and you're looking at all these ingredients and you're going, well, this could definitely become a cake. Okay, the point here is that in order for this to be a collaborative effort, because this is something collaborative that is coming in, each individual has their part to play. Somebody may be coming into your life with certain skills or knowledge that are useful for you, and you can take those skills and knowledge and kind of translate that energy into like, okay, I have a vision, you have these skills, so let's work together to create this new thing. Okay, and this is an alchemical process. You are in this energy of temperance, the adding of the ingredients together, the pouring from one vessel into another, back and forth, when you think of alchemy, you would combine ingredients, you purify, you separate ingredients, it's just this process. So you're starting to come into this process with others where, somebody brings an ingredient to the table, somebody else is bringing another ingredient to the table, and you're the one doing the baking. You're the one using your skills to bring all the separate ingredients together to create something, okay? And this is where it's a leadership role. Even if others are coming with individual, ingredients, you have the vision, the insight, the understanding that allows you to see how they can be all connected, how they can all work together, and you are doing the alchemical process. And this benefits both you and them because it is a shared energy, right? Up next, we have the magician. So this is more than just, like, you're not winging it per se in a sense that, like, you don't know anything of what you're doing, right? Like, you may have this full energy because you're stepping into something new in your current life. But that doesn't mean you don't have experience. This fool, his pack, he's still got things he brought with him from previous life. And so you brought knowledge and skills you've developed that, have taught you how to create your life, how to create your reality. You've brought these things with you. And that's why you are in this Queen of Wands energy, right? The knowing how to take the ingredients and use them to shape your reality. So you are somebody who is quite masterful, studied, practiced at a certain technique or skill set that you can use in order to create. Up next is the Knave of Wands. Okay, your creation process isn't a blind creation process. You are somebody who's very imaginative, very, visual when it comes to whatever you're creating. So imagine, maybe you're manifesting a new home for yourself. And the Knave of Wands, the Page of Wands here, it's not that, he's imagining the home with the belief that he's creating the home. The home already exists in his mind. He is imagining how he wants to place the furniture, enjoying life in this new place. You have something solid, a new foundation, a new home, a new business, a new job, a new love, whatever it is, the thing exists, and now you're visualizing the details, right? You get this opportunity to really create a life that is so perfectly right for you, so perfectly right for those that you're connected with, that it doesn't feel like, just, oh, this is good enough, or I'm settling. It really is very custom to you. And this energy, you're putting a lot of focus into it. The Knight of Swords, you are taking this intention, this visualization, this new thing, this new image, whatever you're creating, you're taking this and you're really going forward with it. You are so intent, you are so set. The Knight of Swords here, he's got the power, the lightning with his sword, he's riding on this Pegasus here, dashing through the sky. You are gung-ho, all forward to get where you're going. And, it's interesting because we still are in this, the Knight of Pentacles energy here, right? You're taking it one step at a time, but the irony is because you are taking solid steps, because you are not sliding back as much as you would be if you were rushing, you're actually getting to your destination faster. Your energy is focused and directed toward the thing you want, instead of toward distractions, instead of toward directions that aren't helpful for you. So you're moving more quickly relative to if you were attempting to rush, because you are being sure-footed, because you are making sure you make the right choices. Okay? And as this energy is building up and you're taking, one step at a time, there's, we have this want for the energy to go somewhere. We want it to, move outwardly, right? So what happens when we have all this intense energy building up, but things aren't moving quite as quickly? You can actually take this energy and focus it in the hermit. You can, look within. You can, like I said, you have the visualization, imagining how you want things to be arranged, imagining how you want things to look, and the specific details. Because this inner focus, this inner vision that we have, if you focus intently inwardly, you find that the light, the source of the magic, the source of the power to create your reality has been within you all along, right? You're not just taking this energy and you're just like going all over the place. You realize that this very energy that makes you feel antsy, makes you kind of sometimes feel like, you want to go so much that you're chomping at the bit. When you direct this energy consciously, you realize this isn't just fuel for you to live your life. This is power to create reality. And, when you see that source of magic, when you see that light is within yourself, then you can start to be more of the Hierophant in the sense of, a more embodied spirituality. You don't look at, spirituality as, something out there, but rather something that you live. Of course, the Hierophant, they're a human being, and they're not perfect. They make mistakes. You also make mistakes, but this is perfectly fine. Those mistakes are fuel for your growth, right? The embodiment of, your spirituality, the embodiment of this realization that you are, in fact, an expression of creation itself, means that you don't have to be perfect, because you already are. The pains will help you learn and grow. The joys will help you learn and grow. And then you can take this, these experiences you have, and you put them in some sort of a structure, in some sort of a container. You show up every day, hey, if I do this practice, I'm going to get better at it. If I do this exercise, I'm going to get stronger. You take that inner understanding and you embody it, right? And this embodiment, like I said, you come into this Hierophant energy, this leadership energy. And the people that you are connecting with, they have their own hopes and dreams too, right? The same way that you have your hopes and dreams. You listen to others. You hear what are the things that they want for themselves. You make room for, them to be themselves and to grow and to dream. And you can help to cultivate their dreams, or you can help bring clarity and insight to, other people's ideas, and to, other people's learning processes and journeys. And this clarity that comes, the help that you have when you're connecting, with others, that help that you give, this is actually going to be the foundation for your growth, right? The Page of Pentacles. While the Knight of Pentacles is the one step at a time, the Page of Pentacles isn't even going anywhere, not at least, on the surface, right? They are enjoying the moment. Their feet are on the grass. You are here, you are grounded, you are present. And that groundedness, that presentness in real life, in the connections that you have with others, in the things that you're building, that embodied spirituality, that grounded spirituality in the here and now, is the actual thing that you grow with, that you build with, that you learn. You've got these new experiences, and as the things are growing, we get to this Seven of Pentacles. Now, in this deck, the Seven of Pentacles, is not just a farmer by themselves. They have their mouse friends. They are growing things together. They are teaching each other, sharing skills. They have shared some of their supplies, the food, with her, and she's teaching them how to weave baskets in order, to put all the supplies in. And later on in the story in this deck, they take these weaving skills and they use it to weave their nest, and they really build this prosperity together. So this growth, you are not just growing by yourself, you are growing with others, right? That foundation, that connection that you have, this is where the growth comes from, and you all grow together. And in fact, you come into this Eight of Pentacles, right? See the baskets starting to get more formed. They're really starting to get more of their resources gathered together because of the practice, because of the repetition. You help each other, right? Like each day you show up, and show others by example, like, hey, we can do this, we can put in the practice, we can put in the reps. You inspire others to put in the same practice. You inspire others to be able to put in the same reps. And as you're growing together, eventually this potential, this energy that you have been pregnant with, we come to the Six of Wands in this deck, this celebration, this journey. In this story, we have these two fairy boys, who had set out on a journey, and they had this other fairy girl give them an egg, and they didn't know what it was, but now it's born, and this dragon, and this one boy here, he's celebrating. So somebody ends up having some sort of a breakthrough, whether that's you, whether that's somebody that you're connected with in your community, but because you are all connected, this new thing birthed, benefits all of you. And you realize that is, in fact, the key to your freedom, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords, she may be bound up by these ribbons, she's got this blindfold on, but they're actually pretty loose. She could take the bindings off, she could take the blindfold off, and you can take your own limitations and your doubts and, any negative beliefs, and you can just shed them. You can be free of them. That community, that connection, you realize that you can be open and you don't have to be isolated. Okay? So that brings us into the Six of Cups. You have the boy here, giving the little girl the cup, this friendliness, this innocent, connection, nostalgia, this connection, this openness. Your freedom inspires other people's freedom, and their freedom inspires your freedom. And you're reborn as the sun, right? You started on this journey as the Fool, and as you've been growing together, as you've been learning together, you come to this renewed innocence, this renewed joy, a conscious interaction with life, a conscious choice to live in that innocence, in that freedom, in that joy, even knowing the ups and downs of life, because you realize how they serve you, right? The sun, he's got all these sunflowers, right? The bright yellow sunny energy, but what color is the center of the sunflower? It's black, right? The seeds are really dark. You know that the difficulties and the challenges in life are the very seeds that life grows from. They're the very possibilities, that you have presented to you. And, you come into this sun energy, and the sun shines on everybody indiscriminately, right? It's not like the sun saying, like, hey, I'm going to shine over here in this country, but I'm not going to shine over here in this country. It gives freely to all, and you all help each other. You all help each other grow, right? The challenges in life, or even just holding each other accountable. That practice that says, like, hey, did you do your thing today? Did you take care of yourself? Are you meditating? You know, did you drink water? That feedback that comes, you know, right? That creates just more of this celebration, more of this joy. The Six of Wands, right? You might be this sun energy, right? But you don't have to do it alone, right? You know, like all this solar energy, this celebration, this connection, you know, this celebration, because we have the Six of Wands twice, right? This is a synergy that happens, right? Remember, this little thing that's born, whoever discovers it, it still benefits all of you, right? Because you're building this collective solar energy, this vitality, this shared life together. And that is the key to the awakening of your heart, the outpouring of love, connection, prosperity, abundance. Ace of Cups is always that heart awakening card for me. Alright, friend. If this reading has been valuable for you, I would absolutely love it if you would like the video for me. Drop a comment. Even if you don't know what to say, you know, you could say something like "for the algorithm," or you could leave a sunflower emoji. Sunflowers are a spiritual guide of mine. That'll let me know that you see me, and that'll let the algorithm know that you want to see me. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, absolutely would love it if you would subscribe. Head into my channel, find a video that resonates with you, or if you don't find a video that resonates with you, you can head into the community section, and I've got a pinned post, and you can actually ask me a question that'll make a reading just like this for you, but also for the collective. Alright, friend, I'll see you next time.